Game on, everybody! Today we have a pretty hyped series on our hands. The Vikings against Go Next HeroesHype Premier Series. The playoffs are finally here. We are in the round of 8 in the winner's bracket, and our first map is Volskaya's Foundry. And on the left side, Wubby playing today for the Swedish team, for the Vikings on Imperius. Khaldor playing Anna, Backhult on the front line with ETC, Gia on Greymane, and Make on Li Ming for the reset value. Go Next, on the other hand, on the right side with Kelvin on Sylvanas, Max Passion on Blaze, Ultralisk on Junkrat, Skog on Johanna, and Sky is playing Lucio. It's going to be a pretty hyped series, and again, apologies that we actually look at the normal HGC observer interface. Unfortunately, with this one, it's pretty difficult to track stacks and talent progress on those quest talents. Unfortunately, there was a mini patch that ruined some of the replays here that we are looking at. Again, some of the games in the tournament are being played simultaneously, so I usually have to pick one that I can commentate live. And if I want to provide a little bit more coverage to everybody out there from the big tournaments and the competitive scene, I have to resort to the replays shortly after. This is one of those cases, so this is why we have a change of UI, at least for this match right here. But with that said, guys, if you watch this on YouTube right now and you enjoy the commentary and the continuous esports coverage on the channel, make sure that you hit that sub button and the notification bell, and an upvote on the video would always go a long way to help out making the channel a little bit more popular. As it stands in our game, the best of 3 series, the teams are obviously eager to move on to the semi-final. It's a big tournament, a lot of prize money on the line. For the second season in total, there was $10,000 in the prize pool. Some of it obviously allocated towards the qualifier tournaments, but the majority of it still going to the playoffs. So the teams are going to be really eager to make it up in those standings. Oh, nice attack actually against Johanna. Johanna on the way back, but oh, what a snipe by Khaldor for the slow, nearly setting the kill up. Junkrat with a displacement was able to create some space here, and as it turns out, no kill just yet. Lucio actually playing around here, and it's going to be interesting to see how Sky is going to play this, because Lucio, just generally speaking, not really a hero that I'm too fond of in the current meta. If Lucio is played in a composition, personally I like it a lot more if there's a macro play at hand with Greymane or other heroes trying to take down structures, attempting to rotate around the opponent. Lucio, generally speaking, has a couple of really cool tools in his arsenal, and one of them is definitely his ult. At this point, he won't be able to rely on it, but he still is going to be able to use the boop to get them maybe off the platform, as they're trying to go for the healing beacon. They're actually able to grab it here. Everybody's low. Mark in particular, he might actually fall here. Another nice combo from him, nearly takes down the front line of the red team though. Skog is about to fall. Max Passion gets away. Li Ming has fallen, and that's the only kill here. Khaldor now with another perfect snipe right between the eyes of Kelvin. Seems like Khaldor now into sniper training or something. Really good shot so far with the sleeping dart on Anna. But yeah, pretty cool setup here. Both teams really aggressive from the get-go. And coming back to Lucio, his problem is obviously to deal with burst damage, and this is going to be a huge issue later on in the game, I'd assume, since we have quite a bit of CC with ETC and Imperius, and on top of that, a lot of burst damage. And outside of Lucio's ult, the sound barrier, he will have some trouble dealing with that if coordinated attacks really hit a target. So this is always some of the problems. Then again, he has a couple of advantages. Quick rotations between the lanes is just one of them. And Sky so far has been playing a pretty fair tournament, and also goes up against an opponent that he knows pretty well, so we'll see how much he can make those plays. The problem is that Skog goes down, doesn't even use the healing beacon. He gets taken out, and a perfect setup against Lucio. Khaldor now once again with pinpoint accuracy here, hitting the bullseye with a sleeping dart against Lucio, allowing the rest of the team to get in position and get those cooldowns back up, and bam, another kill secured. 2 kills against 1 in favor of the blue team. The Vikings, of course, one of the teams that is really making a lot of headway here. I mean, the boys have been playing with Wubby on and off, but you have Mark on that team, you have Backhult at the front, and those guys are really experienced. Having someone like Wubby join them for the tournament here is only going to add to their strength, especially on that off lane. Wubby already on point, has to also be a bit careful. Max Passion could always go for the jet propulsion here and might actually do that. Here comes the healing beacon on the ground. Greymane still sitting all the way up at the top as the rest of the team is already going for the checkpoint here. Red team is looking for the kill, can't find it right now. Gia is coming back in, wants to set something up. Nice done from Wubby. They go for Max Passion and Blaze goes down. But so does Greymane. Kill for kill and Muck is in trouble. But immediately rescued by ETC and the Protector is secured for the Vikings. Already looking for even more aggression here as they're trying to take the front line down. Very likely the rotation is going to move towards the top of the map in a moment to take that fountain apart to prepare for objective number 2. But so far, so good. We still have very even in experience. We have a slight kill advantage for the red team. And Wubby has now split down to the bottom of the map to ensure that they're not losing any minion experience. Incredibly important if you're trying to incorporate some of these rotations in your own play. Minion experience, trying to not fall behind, super important here. That's why the offlaners immediately split after the objective was lost. Fountain is taken down, so when the next objective spawns topside, the red team is going to have a bit of trouble here. But the red team in this case is getting quite an easy kill. Market drops out of the Protector and is immediately welcomed by a few heroes, and that's a nice rotation from GoNext. Not only do they get the kill, but in the 5 versus 4 that they can now force around the healing camp or the support camp, they might be just able to grab up another item. And item control is absolutely everything on this map. Wubby even in trouble, gets slowed down again by the Ori Spill, and that's another staggered death against the Vikings. Half level lead now for GoNext, and they're playing a fantastic set here, but Kelvin needs to be careful. He's getting attacked for some reason with only 3 heroes in the mix. We see the blue team playing heavily aggressive around that camp. Now Marke is back, and that's already a big relief, but another healing beacon has picked up. Turrets are spawning on the map once more. Level 10 abilities give us the sound barrier, and also for Blaze the bunker, so a lot of defensive tools. Blessed Shield for the setup. In addition to that, we're seeing the Wailing Arrow for Sylvanas. That's going to help a lot to try and get some good kill set up during the entire fight. But then again, Liming can now rely on the nano boost from Mana in those team fights. And Marke might have fallen this game already twice, but at the same time, he is just a monster in these team fights and oftentimes able to connect these combos. If he has the nano boost and a little bit of backup from Greymane, then quick kills are definitely on the menu. It's a slight advantage still on the side of the red team, but the next objective is going to spawn soon. Marke with an attempt at damage output. Rest of the team going for the rotations, especially down to the bottom. A good mosh pit might obviously also a huge part in the next few fights. And at this point we're still early in the game. I mean, we're 7 minutes in on the damage numbers. We're currently looking at a slight lead for Sylvanas. But topside, a big push coming through now with 4 heroes going for it, and one of them being Greymane. So in walking form, a lot of damage against the structures, and they might actually get a freebie here. Junkrat is trying to set up the defense, and as the minions are slowly taken down, the blue team has to retreat. Vikings can't stay here forever, but they're nearly taking the fort down. ETC falls at the bot lane, and up to the top, there we have Imperius also taken apart. Down to the bottom of the map, though, the attack still continues. 6 kills against 3 now, as we all of a sudden see GoNext with a severe advantage. They hold on to the fort for a bit longer. They themselves are able to take the one down at the bottom of the map, which gives them a slight lead as they're heading into this. But this is an interesting position for them to be in now. Because objective number 2 usually centers after the big changes to Volskaya Foundry some months ago, around level 13 talents, and they are the team that is going to pick this one first. They have a severe advantage in experience now that could definitely lead to them grabbing the Protector here. A bit more experience picked up by Max Passion at the bottom of the map. He's going up against Wubby here. But level 13 is going to be in their hands soon. Marke delivers the final blow against the 4 top side. That was to be expected. You can't really protect that any longer. But there's level 13. And ETC is already on the spot. And it's a little bit weird that we don't have the immediate aggression onto the point from GoNext. They're actually sitting back despite the fact that they have the additional talent. Now there's 2 heroics that they could still be waiting for. But both of them are about to be off cooldown again. Max Passion is zoning this out, but they just gave up 45%, 50% to the opponent without really fighting for the objective. Finally, they're making that move, and they still have that talent advantage. But that was definitely a bit strange that it didn't at least try to get Johanna onto that point around the Iron Skin cooldown. In the middle of the map, Wubby is obviously eager to make sure that they get the additional talent they needed for the fight if they ever want to take it. And the rest of the team is trying to go for the support camp and immediately gets attacked here. The Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas already back with a little bit of trouble as Junker displaces him. Riptire and the kill against Backhult. He goes down. Great move by the red team. Bunker on the ground and they are staying safe for now. A lot of cooldowns used on the blue team side and we're actually seeing Gia tapping at the fountain. That's the one advantage that they still hold. The immediate move back onto the point. But two heroes actually splitting down to the bottom of the map, trying to go for items here. And Vikings are still fighting for this. For some reason in the 5 versus 4, Go Next is actually letting this one slide. Sit back, take the additional item and now start to rotate topside again. But they're not really making that move towards the objective. They have items still. They have a turret, they have a healing beacon, but they are very, very late on this particular move. Junkrat isn't even here yet. He didn't go up top together with Kelvin. And there's the kill against Blaze, and all of a sudden they're falling behind. They have advantages, but they don't use them when they have those opportunities, and now they're paying for it as the 5 versus 5 collides, and both of the frontliners of Go Next get taken apart. Bam! That's 5 kills against 7. And the Vikings, they have the Protector. Protector number 2 in their hands. And I gotta say, it's a little bit weird to see Go Next not capitalize on these advantages. They play a great game. They get their kills, they control the team fight. They are able to also push the bot lane aggressively around Sylvanas. And then they are a bit hesitant to move on to the point when they have the talent advantage. And also when they have the numeric advantage here. I honestly think they could have played this a little bit differently and grabbed the Protector for themselves. As it stands, they lose fort number 2 in the middle of the map. Wubby has started to push out the bottom even more, because obviously the next target, double piggy by the way, the next target is going to be the fountain over here. And it seems like without any problems whatsoever, the blue team is going to pick this one up. Wubby is even sitting at the side, hoping for an engage and to just go straight in for an impale against someone. Maybe even against Lucio, who's starting to move a little bit farther down to the bottom in those fights. Towers are about to go down. Wubby still patient, or AFK. One of the two. Yeah, does miss the impale. He's trying to go for the lunge, but can't connect it. Obviously, both of them are now attempting to head into level 16, and as you can tell, it's going to be a minor advantage for the Vikings. 30,000 damage at this point for Li Ming, 25,000 for Greymane, and Sylvana still sitting on 25,000 herself. Hasn't died in this game yet either. Also Junkrat with a continuous poke, but it's up to the item control once again. And the camps that are, of course, on the map, and that's where Greymane is just unfolding his prowess. I mean, Greymane, Rhaegar, there's a lot of heroes that are just fantastic when it comes to grabbing camps. Greymane probably one of the best, if not the best. So in this case, he can easily rotate over and grab this one. Galnegolnar a little bit slow here, but still playing a great game on Ana thus far. With 16, we also have Mirror Ball now in play, and the focus is shifting onto the support camp again, as so often in this game. This is where we've seen most of the big battles between the two teams. And now an opportunity to maybe grab another item. There's a turret in the hand of each team and not much more when it comes to items, so no real advantage on either side. 16 talents for both. And again, the attempt by Galnegolnar to set a kill up with a sleeping dart. This time it doesn't connect. But Backhult is looking to see if he can get a slide through. He's the one zoning for the rest of the team, whereas we're seeing Junkrat mainly poking with the grenades here. Went for the endless nades already and is looking to see if he can maybe get someone low enough for the rest of the team to follow up with a potential play. Ooh, play like that! Ultralis gets saved by the sound barrier. Fantastic play by Lucio. Wubby is down. Imperius is taken, and all of a sudden the blue team is struggling, trying to escape here as Gia gets attacked, nearly falls. Kelvin moving in with a haunting wave, trying to get another kill set up, but they can't get the second one. They got the healing beacon though, and that's already a big win, and the kill against Imperius helps of course too. 8 kills against 5, and the red team already on the rotation towards the camps, trying to get that big lead in items. Even attempting to maybe even steal this one away. 40 seconds though until it reappears on the map. But the aggression towards the bottom of the map is there, and they can open up that wall. And that's fantastic, because if they grab the Protector, this is an opportunity to not only get the keep, but maybe even push it further to drop the core if they can secure a kill. Item advantage already in their hands. Junkrat on the way, but Max Passion gets isolated. And survives. Max Passion actually survives and gets away. ETC still wants him, but the oil spill slows him down. Here comes the attack against Johanna, going for even the blessed shield to escape. Healing beacon on the ground, and Scorp falls. And that's obviously one of the problems where Lucio can't really help out. If he doesn't have the sound barrier up, he's just not able to provide a whole lot there. Can provide some of the movement speed, but if your opponent plays a lot around slows and CC plus body blocks, then it's difficult to escape. And the heal over time is just not powerful enough in a situation like this. So once again, we have the lead on objective number 3 for the Vikings. They grabbed the first protector, they grabbed the second one, and now they are looking to secure themselves a third one in this game. And we still have a fort and also a keep at the bottom of the map on the bot lane for Go Next. So it's unlikely that the game would end here if the third protector is taken. Depends a little bit on how they play this out. They can still fight over for it, by the way. The objective is not really secure yet for the Vikings. We are looking at level 19 for both teams in just a moment. And Johanna is back. So currently camps are being taken towards the top right to put some pressure onto the top lane. Blaze is even pushing into the middle to drop that fort slowly and steadily. But with 5 heroes back on track, they can make the rotation towards the bottom and try to contest this one. They need to be quick though if they want to do that. And it seems like they're just going to let it slide. They're just going to say, alright, we're going to go into the middle. We're going to try and take the fort down and get a slight lead in experience. Hope for the early level 20 and use that for the defense. And that's exactly what they're setting up here. The fort goes down, still half a level away though. Junkrat even moving topside. They really want these Storm Talents now. I mean, damn. They're really trying to get the level 20 to have an advantage in the defense at the bottom of the map. And Junkrat can definitely deliver that, but it's going to cost them some time, and that might just be enough. But the Protector gets beaten down pretty quickly. 70% health remaining. Level 20 soon in their hands. Junkrat now finally moving back. The keep is already on 50% HP. Here comes the attack again, and 20 is finally there. Storm Talents, but they come too late to set up the defense. Not gonna work for them. Deafening Blast on Sylvanas as they are moving in. And look at Blaze, even going for the burn notice here. Good series, by the way. Not the best, but still enjoyable. And Kelvin is jumping in and delivers the final blow to the Protector. Indestructible for Johanna. Still pressure at the top side with the camp that was claimed previously. And that could very well result in another fort taken out. But the first keep is eliminated, and that gives an advantage to the Vikings, who are now also taking up their Storm Talents. And that gives us a repulsion. They also have even more power through the nano boost now from Ana, thanks to her 20. Leeming is going to be very happy about that in the team fight. ETC hasn't made a choice yet. We're going to find out what he's going to go for. Death metal, obviously, always a possibility for Backhole. And it's again the healing camp. Every time that support camp is on the menu, they go for it. And there's where the big fight is likely to happen again. Max Passion sliding in from behind, trying to see if he can cut off the path of retreat and put someone into trouble. Not working out right now. Big push in the middle thanks to the camps and also the catapult that came with it. The bot lane is another point where the red team has to pay a little bit of attention, because there's a chance that they are going to have a catapult on the core rather sooner than later. And with Maka and Gia splitting off, and thanks to the wave clear or the camp clear of Greymane getting a quick additional item before they're heading back into the fight. And this could backfire against Go Next, of course. It's pretty much a dead even game outside of the one keep eliminated at the bot lane. Between the two of them now, 8 kills against 6, the difference there isn't that big either, so there's a huge chance that the next team fight might even decide their game. Especially, of course, since, oh, there comes the aggression against Blaze, and oh my god, he doesn't stand a chance in that encounter. No bunker, no nothing. And that was a fantastic kill. And actually highlights again what I talked about earlier. Good coordination together with Greymane's Cursed Bullet and the pressure from Li Ming can blow a target up within a second, and Lucio just had no chance to react there. The sound barrier is just a little bit too late in such an instance. Now we have another healing camp taken, claimed by Wubby. We see them go for the camp on the top right. They're attempting to build up that momentum, and they are doing a lot with it already. Kelvin just dodges out onto the Li Ming combo. Is not getting hit there. Junkrat at the bottom of the map trying to push out the lane to give them a little bit more wiggle room. At the top, wall is falling, and the next goal will be an additional keep. If they can get a kill here, that would be the dream. Maybe even opening up a core possibility for them. And the objective gets announced. Fight is about to ensue top side with Blaze coming back. The blue team decides though that it's time to move towards the objective and instead secure another protector here. And that could definitely work for them now. Even with Greymane moving towards the top side camp, they should arrive at the objective in time to contest it properly. But this is going to put more pressure onto the top lane. And it's already pushed out. Catapults will be on the keep very soon. And that camp is not going to make this play or this lane any safer for them. So here comes the aggression with an early turret already. Jet propulsion. Junkrat isn't there yet. There comes the blessed shield. The Riptide is coming in. Trying to get the kill against Gia. Not quite successful at that. But there's a lot of items already dropped, and that healing beacon is giving them sustain as they were already rather low. Both of the teams don't have the fort anymore in the mid lane, therefore no sustain through that particular fountain. But the position is claimed again by the Vikings. They've been controlling the objective in this game from start to finish thus far, and it seems like this is not going to be an exception. Right now, top lane needs to be de-pushed, and they're there in force with 3 heroes, but at the bottom of the map, another item gets stolen. This is where the Vikings make the aggressive move. They have Ana still on the point, 30% for them right now. And Go Next needs to move into this. They can't just simply give it up like they did some of the previous objectives. They need to fight for this right now. They need an objective, they need a protector, they might be able to even end the game if they do, but I can tell you one thing for sure. If the blue team grabs this easy peasy without losing heroes, they have an open path to the core of Go Next, and they're going to use that opportunity to grant themselves a lead in this best of 3. Wubby sitting at the side, zoning out Ultralisk a little bit. He himself pushed out of position, but lunges over. Saves his ass for just a second. As the shield with the armament as he pops his ult. The protector, by the way, about to be taken here. Nobody really contesting it. They're instead looking for the kills. Backhold with a mosh pit attempt that gets interrupted right away during the channel, and ETC is down. But Jojo up to the top right has been taken apart too, and that's a 4 versus 4 with the protector in the hands of the Vikings. They're looking for another kill against Sky, and they're trying to go for Lucio here. Even Sylvanas is in trouble. Everybody getting chased here, and Li Ming with the attempt to get the repulsion in position to push them back into the fight. Can't quite make the connect, but the entire team of the blue side is now moving through the bottom of the map with the protector, trying to get the value here. Only Imperius in it right now. They're still playing the in and out game with Gia now on the move. Has of course the chance to go into the Worgen form if he stays outside of it, but joins Imperius, and they are trying to make the play. 21 minutes into the game, there's a chance that they can end it right now. 3 catapults are also starting to move in, but the defense is there. The Riptire is coming in. The attacks keep coming. Nice Riptire connect against 2 heroes at this point, but the shield is already falling on the core, and the protector is just absolutely murdering it. 70% at this point. Max Passion dropping the bunker, trying to zone out Make here. The catapults have not reached the core just yet, but the protector might just be enough. 10%, and this is game as the Vikings take the lead in this first game on Volskaya Foundry against Go Next. GG and well played. Game number 2, the Vikings in the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Second map, Battlefield of Eternity, here at the HeroesHype Premier Series. And on the left side, Make for the blue team on Jaina in the second game of the best of 3. Gia on Junkrat, Galnagulnar again on Ana. We have Backhold on Johanna, and Wubby back on the Space Goat, playing Urel in our second game. Towards the right side of the map, Go Next though, haven't given up yet, obviously. Reyna, this time played by Kelvin for the auto attacks. Max Passion on Blaze, Ultralisk on Li Ming. We have Skok on Mal'Ganis, see a lot of Mal'Ganis these days. And we're also seeing Sky on Rhaegar. Alright, let's get this one going. This is actually a pretty sweet lineup here for the red team, I gotta admit. I mean, they have a lot of defenses, they have a lot of survivability on Mal'Ganis, the Ancestral, we're looking at Blaze and his abilities, and obviously the poke with Li Ming around the objective. There's a lot of potential for them for sure. then there's a nano boost Jaina on the other side, and with good CC, that can hurt a lot, obviously. So, as it stands, towards the top, we have our 1 versus 1. Wubby going up against Blaze. So Max Passion is currently sitting tight here. Khaldor again with... oh wow, actually great move by Junkrat. Kelvin! Yeah, that's a kill. Goes down as Johanna comes in for the final blow. Straight with that flail into the nuts. Not even a spacesuit can save you from that. So, nice kill from the Vikings, and that means that they have an easy shot at the camp at the bottom of the map. We're even seeing Junkrat trying to anchor the play a little bit, but obviously there's nothing to be done about this anymore. Skirk coming in for just a second to see if he can maybe delay things and wait for Jimmy to come back, but the answer to that one is pretty much just no. So, no real chance to make anything happen here. And now, we have our little attack here in the 4 versus 4 with the help of a Khaldor camp. So let's see if we can actually capitalize on this a little bit and put some pressure onto the turrets. They might even be able to get a kill right now. Skirk gets put to sleep and gets wrecked. Great setup here. Damn. Vikings with an early double kill against Go Next. They're already in the lead in this series, but right now that's a fantastic opening for them. Even the rotation topside of Jaina trying to put more pressure onto Blaze and maybe even get the camp. But it also puts us in a position where there's a little bit of a better situation developing at the bottom of the map for the red team. Nothing too fancy. And thanks to those 2 kills and the extra camp, plus the second one gets now taken, very soon looking at a level 4 talent advantage for the blue team, just in time for the first Immortal. So, yeah, bit off to a shaky start here in the second game. Not quite how Go Next wanted to open this one up, probably. If you lose the first game in the best of 3 series, you are kinda motivated to make sure that from the start you're having a good opening into the second game so that you can tie the series and force the third one. We're not seeing any of that just now. Wubby is still playing up at the top, and his Urel was always fantastic. I mean, his Urel play, honestly, was always just absolutely top-notch. He's definitely the GOAT of GOATs. And he can show that in this game now. Shaman Cam. Oh, clutch! That was a clutch capture. Half a second later and Wubby would have been on the point and they could have lost out on the Shamans. Now though, Wubby is a bit far out and gets immediately attacked, and that's already a fair amount of damage on him. He's able to heal himself up again. Level 4 orb, by the way, for Liming. Again, you can actually switch that out, especially on this map, if you don't feel that dominance is going to give you too much value. There's a level 16 opportunity to find some synergy. The important part, if you ever feel like you want to go into any orb talents, is that you still don't give up on Calamity and make that pick still happen. The level 7 talent is just way too strong. So right now, so strong that some people argue you should actually make it baseline. Well, for now, we have Wubby still fighting around here. I gotta say that so far the red team is doing pretty well considering that they're slightly behind. But they are just pushing the blue team towards the left through the choke point, and now they have just an open season on the opponent's Immortal. The camp at the top lane has been taken out by now. Johanna also moving in again at the front. They are both trying to open up a little bit of space here. The poke continues. Wubby jumping in for the aggression. Marke a little bit low. They're trying to body block him. Marke is super low, but he's still able to get out because we have Anna again with the perfect play here. Khaldor just hitting hit after hit, getting one shot in after another and making this work. And yeah, Ultralisk is trying to grab this one, but as you can tell, the red team, they lose out on Immortal number 1. They're even getting hunted down in the middle of the map now. This is starting to look a bit problematic because we are likely going to see level 7 abilities in the hands of the blue team as they're pushing with the Immortal, and that obviously means talent advantage. And with that, you have a pretty good opportunity to take the entire fort here. I mean, there's a 4-man defense now starting to move topside as Blaze is the only one to collect experience at the bottom of the map. But this is getting iffy. Oh, nice attack here against the backline. That one at least was nice. Wubby jumped in. A little bit too deep maybe. Good jet propulsion, but he's still able to go down. Can't kill the goat. And now Melganis is in trouble. And he's getting wrecked. 3 kills against 0. More aggression now against the fort, which is definitely going to fall. Blaze is coming up for her too. Chia gets nearly taken out. but this was a 5 versus 4 with a talent advantage, and it doesn't look any better right now. Ah, well, at least they're attacking Mark and trying to get a kill there. Good jet propulsion. Kill attempt. Khaldor now on Ana is low and goes down. Max passion with a max value. The team still moving in, and especially Sky at the front in the doggy form is trying to get a quick kill here. Is even able to move away. Oh, dude! Committing Sudoku against Johanna here. Jumping in straight against her. Ultralisk on the run and gets flattened like a pancake by Wubby. More kills at the bottom as Jaina and Junkrat both get taken out. And damn, this game is just everywhere right now. 5 kills against 3, and what a setup. I mean, seriously. The mass carnage of the last fight. Still only a half-level lead that we're seeing for them. But I especially liked how Rhaegar just looked the entire time. Can I get a bite in? Can I get a bite in? Can I get a bite in? And then he wants to just jump for the leg, sees Johanna, and jumps in just at the same time as Bakul uses the Iron Skin and has the cooldown ready again. And I can promise you, mid-leap, Rhaegar was just sitting there, and from like an R, eventually, no! And Jojo was probably just laughing. It's like, dude, you serious? And gets an easy hit in, and that's the end of the dodge. So, at the bottom of the map, I mean, the fight is still raging on, and the lead is not that big yet for the blue team. But obviously, they're doing well. 5 kills against 3, half-level lead, taking the fort down, good pressure, even claiming the camp at the bottom of the map. Ah, they look strong with this one. That's a little bit tough. I mean, this is the winner bracket, so whoever loses the series will drop into the loser's bracket and has a chance to make a run through that. The Vikings come in here with a lot of ambition. There's quite a bit of money on the line, obviously. So they're hoping to get something done. Tough opponents in that winner bracket. I mean, we're talking about Lauber's Fan Club, the X-Granite Gaming Squad, Washed Up, and a few others. But let's not jump ahead and see who reaches the semi-final of the winner bracket with a victory in this series. Objective number 2 is up. And there's already Wubby with his ult trying to control the space here as much as he can. Gets attacked, Blaze is sitting tight, and on the left side the attack has started. So one Immortal is already taking a severe amount of damage. Level 10 abilities are there too. The blue team has that lead, and that's what gives them an easy halftime show. But level 10 should actually be ready in just a few seconds for Go Next as well. And that's the moment where they can maybe start to go into the team fight and make something happen. Now, Li Ming has of course gone into Calamity, so she has now the reset potential and can use the Wave of Force to push someone out of position a little bit and get that quick combo through. Jimmy is in position again as well, and they're starting to jump in. Okay, Mal'Ganis needs to be careful. That's maybe the first lesson to be learned from this one. But the attacks are coming. And as it stands, grenades are just dropping on the ground everywhere. And the attack over towards the blue team could happen if Max Passion gets an opening for a nice jet propulsion and can set this up for Ultralisk, who's just waiting for a reset opportunity on Li Ming. 5 kills against 3 still, and the lead on the objective for the Vikings. Ah, Khaldor now actually getting dodged out here for just a moment. Oh, Li Ming in trouble, and Wubby immediately taking aim. He's actually pushing them back, using his ult to stay alive. Johanna came in, already used the Blessed Shield here, so that's a big one. And there's Mal'Ganis going straight into the backline as the damage comes from Li Ming. The ancestral healing on Blaze, keeping him in play. And a combo against Ana. And Ana is out. Mark is also rather low, and Mal'Ganis actually wants to kill against Jaina, but can't get it. The problem is that Wubby has already fallen, and it seems like we might see another kill against Johanna here, barely dodging out on it. It's still 2 kills versus 0 in this fight in favor of Go Next, and therefore this objective looks more and more likely to end up in the hands of the red team. That would be a good opportunity for them. So they're starting to make their plays. Blaze has already moved down bot side to get even more experience and close that gap, which they have. 5 kills against 5 puts them into a decent spot now too. And we're looking at a situation in which this Immortal is going to do some serious work, most likely. We're 10 minutes into the game, so it's not a super powerful late game. Immortal just said, Wubby. Ooh, careful, bro. A little bit far out. He has to go for the ult. Jumps out, and unfortunately for them, that put also Johanna in an awkward spot. Li Ming gets attacked here. Nearly a kill. Yeah, actually well done. Nearly get the Li Ming kill in.
And that forces Ultralist to tap the fountain before he does anything else, and that costs time. Time at a moment where you want to have the entire squad right behind the Immortal to get the pressure in. They're going for the wall, they're about to destroy it. Guys, they might even hold the fort if this continues. Then again, Ultralist is collecting the damage now, and Wubby is starting to feel the pressure. Nearly falls, gets pushed out, Jaina dies, Berkult is low, and the kill against Mal'Ganis is possible, and they claim it. Berkult is on the run, that jet propulsion didn't connect. Oh ho ho, this combo! Ultralist just pushed Wubby out of the combo instead of pushing me into it. God, that was unfortunate. 6 kills against 6, even in structures on the map now. And with that, we have a pretty awesome game on our hands. A pretty cool series. I mean, game number 1 was actually pretty sweet as well. We had a couple of cool fights there for sure, and especially the early game. We saw GoNext do incredibly well. But they didn't really capitalize on the advantages that they had. I talked about this, especially around the second objective, when they did not go into the fight on level 13, when they had an advantage, neither when they got the kill and had a 5 versus 4 running. They were a bit too hesitant, just a little bit too passive, too safe. Now it's a different story. 13 versus 13, it gives us even more survivability thanks to Rhaegar's shield that he can now drop in order to get the Ancestral through, or any other heal for that matter. But the next Immortal is going to tell us a lot here. I mean, the teams are both looking for opportunities again to take it here. Yeah, Sleeping Dart comes out. Already another combo from Ultralist. And let's check his damage out real quickly. Ultralist is actually sitting at 31,000 and therefore the top damage in the game with his Liming plays. Everybody is just moving around the middle and starting to rotate bot side again. There's no Immortal has been announced yet, so there's little to fight over outside of the Shaman camps that both teams are likely going to go for soon. Johanna hasn't fallen yet. Neither has Blaze, by the way. And they're starting to go straight in for the objective again, but it seems like the blue... Okay, they're rotating towards the Shaman camp now. For a second, I was actually wondering if they make that rotation, or how they're going to play around this now, but both teams are going straight in for that. And let's see who is going to get value out of this. I mean, it's for both of them the lane where they haven't taken a fort yet, so that will put pressure onto the outer structures for sure, no doubt about it. Blaze sitting at the side. And it's Immortal time. Seems like they're going to go for a rush until the halftime show. Or at least that's something that we could expect here. And it's more or less exactly what's happening. Jimmy and Rhaegar, there's a lot to be gained, and it's more or less an even mix. It's actually at this point we see the red team slightly ahead. Slightly ahead, even experience, even kills. This is up for a good fight. This is going to be a nice one. The rotation from both camps straight up towards the Shamans to claim them on lane before they get the fort destroyed. Skork is sitting at the front and trying to zone the opponent down as much as he can, putting Sleep there, just stopping them in their tracks, trying to also protect, of course, the pathway to their own Immortal. With level 13 talents, we don't quite have Paint Him Red yet for Jimmy. That would be nice for him, would give him a lot more sustainability through that. But there's a rotation bot side, and Blaze in trouble, and that was a bit late on the Ancestral. Still got it out though, thanks to the bunker. So it was a nice interaction, and they get the kill against Ana. Ana is down, great ice block by Jaina, but Makke still falls a second later. Reptile, and they are just fully going out on war, with the next target being Johanna, and a 3-kill setup now. 9 kills against 6, like what the hell? What a fantastic performance in that fight from GoNext. They are able to get 3 kills and now they can go for the objective again. And it all started with a collapse onto Blaze and a gank set up by Ana that backfired because Blaze himself dropped the bunker just in time. That helped the Ancestral to go through and they were able to turn the fight around. Well played by them. And this Immortal is obviously traveling topside where we still have a fort for the blue team. But, I mean, the fort is already a foregone conclusion. This one is going to fall. The only question is, can they get more? And they have a 1.5 level lead right now with level 16. That's the important part. They have a great shot at getting a few kills in now. And if they do, that would be fantastic and allow them to maybe even go for the keep itself. So, at this point, Once again, the little setup around the bottom of the map, where Max Passion and Skog are trying to see if they can maybe flank in, but that draws attention away from the fort itself. So without any real resistance, the fort is down. There's still some shields on the Immortal as they start to move towards the keep. The talent advantage is something that the Vikings are very hesitant to go up against, and for good reason. It's a massive power spike. Mirror Ball, Paint them Red, already taken. Both Earth Thrust Totem is in too, and that allows Rhaegar to apply a lot of CC in these fights, and they're going for it. Can they get the kill here? That's the big question. I mean, Mark is firing away on Jaina as much as he can, and the shots keep coming. That keep is on half HP and drops a lot lower, but I don't think they can really get it without getting killed. And Ultralisk, oh my god, barely jumping out there. That's the immediate cue for Wubby to go into. 16 talent for him, again with the Sacred Ground here, trying to zone them, but there's Blaze with the poke, and he's not the only one trying to commit a little bit more range damage to this one. They want that key. They want that key, but I'm not sure that they can get it. The bunker's on the ground, and they're trying to do as much as they can, but the chase is on. Bakul needs to be careful. He nearly went down. There's the Rip Tire. Ancestral in a bit too early, and Mal'Ganis gets away. You gotta be kidding. No, actually... Oh my god! Mal'Ganis gets away, and Kelvin was trying to get the final hit in against Backhold, but couldn't. Wubby hasn't given up on this one yet, though. He's still sitting there, and he wants to go for the next jump. Skog is realizing that he might be in trouble and is moving out, but what a fight! And what a retreat! Initially, they thought they could get something out of it, but turned against them. Now we have the bot lane attacked heavily, and things are just... I mean, this is honestly an awesome series. First game was awesome. This map is pretty fun too. And we have a lead now over an entire level for Go Next. They have the kill advantage. And they also have nearly taken down the keep at the top side, but they haven't quite been able to drop it, which means that that constant catapult pressure that they really want isn't there yet. To me, the amazing part is that Max Passion hasn't died once yet. I mean, his bunker in the team fight at the bot lane literally changed the outcome or the trajectory of this game. He absolutely... like, all the resources that were dropped by the blue team onto him as they were trying to get the kill were wasted there, and as Ancestral and Bunker both go through, it opened up an opportunity for those 3 kills, and they were absolutely game-changing. The lead now for the red team is they're trying to go for another Immortal, and they have a great position. Yeah, they drop some free damage. Max Passion gets attacked again, and immediately moves away with the jet propulsion. But the poke is real, and we have camps on both sides now. Especially the top lane is a huge thorn in the side of the Vikings, since they have to deal with this eventually, or that keep is going to fall, and they know that too. So someone will have to rotate in. And just look at Mal'Ganis. He's coming in from behind, looking for a target again and trying to help out here. Can't really connect anything. That might actually be his demise if he's not careful. Rip Tire is through. There's the bunker. They're using that as we speak, and the top lane gets still pressured. Ancestral is out as well, and they're still poking for the Immortal. And now Wubby has to go. Wubby has to go. He can't stay any longer. He's been eyeing that top lane the entire time, and now that Urel appears on the minimap topside, they know that they can go in for this. Max Passion, though, in trouble, and he's down. Finally falling once as well. The attack is there, Wubby is back to business, but the camp is still all the way up at the top. And with another catapult, that keep is in trouble. The fight is, on the other hand, still going on. And it's still on the side of the blue team's Immortal. Wubby is low, so is Marcus, so is Backhold. All of them are suffering here. It's a 4 versus 5, but Go Next doesn't give a shit. They're still fighting over it. Ultralisk is in trouble for just a moment, but able to save himself here. He's moving away. The top keep has by now fallen. There might still be an opportunity for a kill, maybe against Mal'Ganis, but he actually gets away. Like, what? How did they just fight a 5 versus 4 for this long, force the opponent back, and then even as they get finally caught, they're able to save themselves? Blaze is back in another 7 seconds, and this is just insanity. Topside keep has been lost. Now at least Immortal is getting attacked. But this is, at the end of the day, just going to be a halftime trade that we have, and then it's going to resolve into another 5 versus 5. And this is getting really tricky for the Vikings. I mean, it's in a level that's needed until 20. That in and of itself is already great. Well, the hits keep coming here as we have another approach towards the bottom of the map. This time it's the blue team that's trying to set the agenda and is forcing the issue here. But things are going to become very difficult once the catapults reach the core. And at this point, it's of course the fights here that we see too. The trap has been activated. Maka is still on the run. They're not making a way over to the top in order to get the Immortal. It's just Gia that pokes away over and over again. Bot lane, by the way, that keep is also starting to seriously take damage. And Wubby has to go down and save it. That's just pressure on every single lane against the Vikings. They didn't expect to be in this situation. And think about how the game started off. It was with a big advantage for the blue team, but it has been turned around in that one crucial fight that we highlighted now several times already. Half a level 420. Core is getting attacked too. The core is under attack by catapults. And the bot lane is pushing as well. There's just so much going on now for Go Next as they hope to force that third game. They want to go to game 3. They want to have a chance to take the Vikings down and to advance to the semi-final of the winner brackets here. But Wubby and the boys are fighting back, and they are really putting a number now onto the backline, or do they? There comes the sacred round as Wubby saves himself. More time is being bought as Maka is dropping low. He's also running out of mana, by the way. Everybody jumping straight onto the fountain again. Top lane pushing. One catapult is here. Second one is already moving in. Bottom of the map, catapults are also starting to shift the focus a little bit. But there's the attack against the Immortal. And who's gonna win it? Such a close call. But it is the red team. The red team grabs another objective and they have level 20 now. This is literally the moment where they could take the game. The keep at the bottom of the map is already on half HP, and with level 20 talents, with the Storm talents, this is going to be a massive opportunity for Go Next to take the core down and claim victory on map number 2, force game 3, and they're going to try and do it. They're already moving straight out through the bottom of the map here as we speak. I mean, at this point, yes, the shields are low, but this beast is going to hit like a truck. We are 22 minutes into the game already. And you cannot only focus on the Immortal, you have to force the fight as well. And that's exactly what the red team is currently doing. Trying to set it up here. Ultralisk already with a combo against Berkult, pushes him out again. Johanna is in a bit of trouble. The rest of the team is coming in too, but the Immortal is already down to 50% HP as Berkult is on the run. Mark is also with a little bit of a problem here, but has been nano boosted. But in comes the kill as Mal'Ganis takes him down. Ana is dead too, and this looks like the end. The Immortal still alive for a little bit longer. The core lost its shields, and here comes the full power of Go Next as they are trying to end the game. 50%, Johanna down, and this is it. GG, as we will see game number 3 between Go Next and the Vikings in this round of 8 match of the HeroesHype Premier Series playoffs. GG, and well played. Game number 3, Vikings against Go Next, and the series is actually tied. And we have a bit of a surprise guest too, now that we're heading into the third game of the series. Berkult had to go, and they already arranged previously that Quacknix would be replacing him. So we have a bit of Fnatic flair in this game right now. Quacknix and Wubby playing together at this point. Infernal Shrines is the map. And on the left side, the Vikings with a ban against Alarak as Mephisto gets banned against Maka. It's kind of fun. Honestly, at this point, I just want to see Quacknix on Junkrat again. And if a couple of you are currently asking, oh my god, where's Quacknix been? What has he been doing? Quacknix actually has focused on other competition, on real-life competition, more so than anything else. He's playing paddle tennis a lot and is actually pretty strong. And together with his partner, as far as I know, it's a duo sport, he is, I think, in the top 10 in Sweden right now. So he's currently traveling quite a lot to tournaments and has been in Spain several times in order to play paddle tennis there too. Right now it seems like there is a little bit of off season, and he started to play a bit more Heroes of the Storm, and it's one of the reasons why he's actually now also in this game here, playing with the Swedish boys once again. So that's exactly what we're gonna see. Gia on Hanzo. Johanna banned out, Rhaegar taken away, Infernal Shrines very heavy on camps, therefore Rhaegar eliminated. Also, he's super powerful on the shrine itself and helps the teams to get additional stacks against the Punisher. Same is obviously true for Johanna. But I would not have expected this to be a third mapper. And there's Junkrat taken away by Go Next, as is ETC. So Quacknix can't play Junkrat. That said, I don't even know who's going into the main tank position right now. Honestly, I would expect Wubby to take over the spot, since when they were in Taiwan in order to play in the Gold League of Heroes of the Storm, the Chinese Gold League over there, with Gia, well, Schwimpy and the others. For a long time, we actually saw Wubby on the main tank position and not on the off lane. But in this case, it seems like Quacknix is taking over, and we actually have him on Muradin right now, with Galnagulnar speccing into Ana, which leaves us probably with Malfurion as the choice for Go Next, unless they want to play with Alexstrasza or Deckard Cain here, who are also two options that you could always pull on Infernal Shrines. But I'm a little bit happy that we're actually seeing a 3-mapper between the teams. I didn't expect that, I honestly didn't. But it's pretty cool for Go Next that they're able to force a third map here. And who knows, they might be able to move to the next round of the winner bracket here at the playoffs. The loser of this map drops down into the losers bracket. Jaina gets banned. And on the other side with a final ban, what will we see from the Vikings? What are they going to ban out against their opponent? They could ban another support, as I said. Or they could focus onto the offlaner damage. And there it is, the Malfurion ban. With ETC's power slide, the roots on the ground are super annoying, can control the access points to all the shrines easily too. And that will most likely now result in Go Next going into either Alexstrasza or Deckard Cain, two heroes that pretty much have a big purpose here. Alexstrasza, first of all, has obviously the option of using the Dragon Queen in order to create more space on the shrine itself and really help with her wave clear to secure the Punisher. And when you're talking about Deckard Cain, he can still lock the opponent down at the entrance points. But Alexstrasza it is, and Medivh together with it. So a lot of defense here on the side of Go Next, and in theory at least, the Leyline Seal option into a mosh pit. So something that we should not ignore. Well, we're still waiting, obviously, for our last picks. That could also combo off with a good leyline if they want to go down that path instead of the polybomb. But the final two picks are coming through for the Vikings, and we're still waiting for Maka and Wubby, and especially Maka is obviously one of the impactful damage dealers of the team, and in this case, it's Gul'dan that he's going to try and rely upon. Wubby on Dehaka, he's going for the Dinosaur. And what's the last pick? We still need the offlane for Max Passion, so now that he knows he's up against Dehaka, what's the pick for him? There's still Malthael around, there's Leo around, two great picks for this. If they're looking at more damage, maybe even Thrall could be an option here for them. So three great picks still open. And on the final map on Infernal Shrines, it is Malthael. Max Passion with a choice. And we're heading into game number 3, the final map in this best of 3 at the HeroesHype playoffs in the winner bracket. Let's jump straight at it. Game on! Infernal Shrines, the third map. And on the left side in blue, it's the Vikings. Mark on Gul'dan, and subbing in for Berghult, the Duck is back. Quacknix on Muradin, we have Wubby on Dehaka. It's the old Fnatic flair that we're currently smelling here, with Galnagulnar on Ana and Gia on Hanzo. On the right side of the map, Go Next in red with Kelvin on Junkrat, stealing a hero away that we could have very well seen played by Quacknix himself. Skog on ETC, Max Passion on Malthael, Ultralisk on Medivh, and Sky on Alexstrasza. And a little fun fact that most of you that have watched HGC regularly probably know already, but some of you might be unaware of. The victory dance of Junkrat was actually modeled after Quacknix. Quacknix victory jump when they won the mid-season brawl in Sweden was something that has been used as the, well, pretty much the example for that particular dance animation. So you can Google that stuff up if you want, but yeah, Quacknix is pretty much forever going to be represented in this game here. Fnatic is actually the only team that never, for any of their big victories, received an in-game mount, which is pretty fucked up by Blizzard, to be honest with you. It's the only time that Blizzard, for a major tournament like the Mid-Season Brawl or BlizzCon, did not grant a team an in-game mount, so an incredibly fucked up move. And to the date, I am not sure why Fnatic didn't even make a bigger fuss out of this, because it was one of the most screwed up things that I've ever seen. But outside of that, at least Quacknix is assured that he will always be part of this game in some version, and that's exactly that. So as we're going to check this one out, we have currently a little bit of a brawl in the middle, but the rotations will soon start. The one-on-one lane towards the top is where Max Passion and Wubby are currently doing their thing. Wubby just stalling out the lanes, not trying to really push this out. It's going to make it very safe for him to be here and will force Max Passion a little bit farther out, which is of course going to increase his risk of being ganked by the opponent. So he needs to be a bit more careful and rely on the information from the remaining parts of the team. Quacknix playing it also safe currently with Third Wind on level 1. No stacks for him. 6 stacks, by the way, for Medivh. We're going to keep an eye on the baseline to see if he can complete that without any problems, or if he's going to take it out there. And it's going to be an interesting game to say the least. The Duck already starting to get a few stacks for his own baseline here, as Quacknix is playing around it. Macke firing away on the AoE damage. 5 stacks for his level 1, obviously heading into Echoed Corruption as his choice. And Ana is going into the sleep darts. Again, support changes have made that happen, so instead of the grenade build that we've seen popularized for a long time, the recent patch has once again buffed this particular move. And therefore, it's all about the sleep dart here. The Duck getting pushed out, but Quacknix moving to the top, hopping out of there, so no problem for him to stay alive, even with Medivh trying to come in again to at least get a few more stacks for his Arcane Rift quest. 5 stacks and 11, what we're going to have on the 2 heroes just mentioned. Now with level 4 and level 5 on the board, the first objective has also been announced. There's still an attack towards the bottom, and Gia actually gets pushed out by Junkrat, and the aggression is there, and that's the kill. Go next with the first blood in this game. And I come back to a point made earlier. Go next with an incredible performance here. And forcing that third map is something that a lot of people didn't expect from them against the Vikings. And with this setup, you have to be really careful. Alexstrasza on this map can be very powerful to secure you the objective. And she pops a dragon form on the point. You have Medivh for an additional layer of defense. Then again, ETC with Prog for additional heals, Junkrat for displacement, last rites, the damage output is definitely there. So the Vikings can't take this lightly. Go Next is incredibly powerful with this lineup, and they could very well be the victor of this best of 3 series and force the Vikings into the losers bracket, and this is something that they need to try and avoid. There's going to be a lot about portal control that we have to discuss later. Quacknix with the Stormbolt can do that. That was a nice setup here for Wubby as he comes in, and this could even be a kill against ETC. And Skok goes down. The Stormbolt comes perfectly, and the 2 former team members, Wubby and Quacknix, with perfect synergy as they prepare the kill. And level 7, bit quicker for Go Next. But it's still 30 against 27 stacks against the Punisher, and both of them are trying to still grab it. Macke is a little bit low, but he can still get the damage out there. Wubby comes in with another drag, and nearly a kill against Medivh, and he barely moves out. Oh, and gets healed by Alexstrasza. They lose out on the Punisher, but the 19 stacks of Medivh have been protected. He nearly lost his Arcane Rift stacks here.
Well played. A kill against a kill. Level 7 ability for both sides. And they still need to bait this one over. And the bait comes a little bit late. Just as the wall goes down, therefore the Stormbolt from Quacknix connects. And he is forcing ETC back deep at this point. Once again, the aggression. And the fort is the first target of the Vikings. They are, of course, attempting to take the quick kill in the structures. Even if they can only take the fountain down, that would already be a bit of a victory. But they take the entire thing. Fort eliminated, and that's a job well done, for sure. Extremely well done, by the way. First objective early on in the game, and you get the entire fort. That's a win right there. So, with this set, we currently see in the mid lane still a few stacks acquired by Medivh as he's using his portals to move out of harm's way just before these Stormbolts connect. There's camps on the map up for grabs, and both of the teams are heading in straight for that. On the left and on the right, Ana again, Gulnar with the pew pew here against ETC, and he connects the dart and puts ETC to sleep. But level 10 abilities are still quite powerful. And I mentioned this because, as highlighted in the draft, there is a chance that we're going to see a ley line into a mosh pit as an option. Camp gets stolen away, or at least they're trying to. Macke is in trouble, and it seems like they're going to get the kill against Gul'dan, and they do. The question is how many are going to fall on Go Next side. And the answer is apparently nobody. Wubby gets immediately stunned out, and he has to use his burrow. He is trying to escape, but he already gets body blocked. Can they get the kill?
Nope, the Whoopstar doesn't give a shit and just moves away. Camp still stolen. Still the additional kill for Go Next and also slightly in experience, despite the fact that they lost the bottom fort. But yeah, Wubby is going up against 4 and just saying like, nah, I guess I can't kill anybody, I'm gonna waddle away now. Which is exactly what he did. Wubby waddling to the top now. And at the bot lane, we have another camp taken by Go Next, which grants them the early level 10 ability. And now the big question, what's going to happen in terms of heroics? I would still expect Leyline and Moshpit to be taken up. Last rights, big option here for Malthael, of course. There's already the Leyline seal. Quick pick on the heroic abilities on the side of the Vikings. And of course there are a lot of interrupts against the Mosh Pit, so don't get me wrong. We have Horrify, we have the Stormbolt, Isolation is there, you have also the Sleeping Dart plus the Arrow of Hanzo. There's really a lot that would maybe make it a bit more attractive to go into a stage dive here for Skok and try and play a little bit more with the macro aspect of his hero. But then again, the ley line, if played out well, could really be the setup that they need in order to get a few kills here. And Mosh Pit indeed it is. So they go straight in for it. And at the same time now we're still waiting for Malthael to make his play. And Malthael could go Tormented Soul. It becomes a bit more popular lately, and with Medivh in the lineup, you have a lot of protection that you can rely upon in these situations. Quacknix towards the top. Shrine is activating. Still no talent taken. Quests 27 for Medivh. Quack on 12 stacks, so he's still a bit far away from getting the cooldown reduction on the auto attacks and the pierce for a Stormbolt. But there comes the last heroic ability. It is indeed last rights. They're going to try and look for that. Portals are already setting up. Well, vision is granted. Quacknix at the side, and there's the attack against him. Right away, trying to drop him down, and he is low, but he goes straight for the ultimate. Passion is in trouble, and he goes down. Mosh Pit and Leyline overlap, not the synergy that they want, and Make does not fall as the Riptire connects with him. Unfortunately for Go Next, the synergy just was not there. They struggled a lot here, and Gul'dan didn't even have to use the Horrify. It's a very dire situation now for Go Next. It was a good idea, a good attempt, but the synergy was just not good enough. They did not sync their ults properly, and as a result, they are now on the back foot. They have to wait for Malthael to come back. He's already on the way, but there's a massive lead on the objective for the Vikings, as we're seeing, again, Junkrat topside, grabbing a bit more experience for them. Everybody else moving into the middle, trying to look for another opportunity against Wubby, against Quacknix, against anybody at the front there. ETC waiting for the power slide. 27 stacks already for the Vikings as they're looking for more. They want the Punisher here. The red team trying desperately to look for anything where they can open up the game again. 30 stacks for Medivh. Here comes the portal. They already attempted to set up 36 stacks against 20, and there they go. Horrify is used against ATC, and he's about to fall. The drag connects, and he goes down. Nano boost on Gul'dan. The arrow missing, but that still seals the deal in favor of the Vikings. They take it. Second Punisher for them. Arcane Punisher this time, and the push through the middle. Level 13 in just a few seconds will be ready for them too. And now they can go for fort number 2. Straight move in for the next kill here. 13 against 12, 3 against 2 kills. Fort on the bot lane has been eliminated, and they're looking to take the one in the mid lane too. 13 talents. Already we're seeing the Primal Swarm here after a focus into the Dark Swarm on level 1 and level 7 for Wubby. Also healing static after level 4 talent choice for Quacknix. And here's at least a level 13 for Go Next to fight on even talents again. But you have to be careful. They have to look for a kill. They have to look for the stacks for Medivh. The drag again. Again, Skok. He slides in. There's the Leyline seal. They're trying to make the kill against Malfurion. Against Gul'dan happen. And Make goes down. And he's not the only one. Quacknix has died too. That's 2 kills against the blue team. Finally, a sign of life here from Go Next as they're attempting to get the kill against Gul'dan, who dodges out on it. But the Mosh Pit makes them dance. And as they dance, they lose Ana. Ana showing the moves here, shaking the hips, and they don't lie, but the kill is still secured. And now all of a sudden, the leading kill, the leading experience. Go Next is still there. It's game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Who will take the victory here and move on to the next round of the winner bracket? And who is going to fall into the loser bracket in this series? All the way to the top, Skok the one to deal with Wubby. Down to the bottom of the map, Max, Passion, Sky and Kelvin taking another camp. And they've been very diligent about these camps. Mercenary experience heavily in their favor. They've been going from camp to camp to camp to camp. It's where a huge chunk of that experience lead that they currently hold comes from. More so even through the heroes experience that they gathered. But you look towards the minion experience and there's a big difference there. And a lot of this comes from Wubby, who has been moving between the lanes the entire time to make his plays. So now as 16 talents loom on the horizon for the red team, there's a chance that there will be a talent advantage for Go Next as they head into the next objective. 3 stacks is all that Medivh is missing to finally complete his baseline. There's still another 6 hits that we need to see from Quacknix before he will complete his quest talent. ETC already sitting at the side here, but gets revealed by Hanzo as the simple geometry is once again proving that Hanzo paid attention in math class. Also having at the bottom of the map another move by Max Passion, looking for the experience, and there's level 16. But it's only a half-level lead. The Vikings are going to get this in time. The problem is that with 16 we have the Draconic Discipline, and that's a game changer. 7-second cooldown reduction on that bad boy. Whew, that's sexy. Endless nades also in play. And the camps again claimed. Just before the objective spawns. Top right, top left, both teams going straight in for it. Malthel also with the first stack. 5-second cooldown reduction for him. 38 now. For Medivh. Needs 2 more in order to complete it. And with both of the camps taken, the teams are starting to focus on the bot lane. And it's actually important because right now, Dehaka is the one who sits topside. He's the only global in the game. Which means that he can keep Kelvin a little bit longer here. Wubby will try and take those shamans down. And this is going to be a weird approach for them. So right now, the Whoopstar with a chance to move into the fight a little bit quicker than his opponent. But as it happens, Max Passion comes in and the 2 of them are trying to take this down. Malthel now slowly on the move towards the bot lane, where we're seeing the Vikings in control of the shrine, trying to get the stacks here. 39 for Ultralisk. He needs another shot in order to complete the baseline, and he should be able to get this without any problem. Sets the portals up already to allow ETC to go a little bit deeper. Dehaka sitting all the way to the top. Junkrat slowly moving in, coming in right as we speak. Quacknix at the front with another Thunderclap, trying to get a couple of additional hits for his team. Skok looking for a power slide, doesn't find it. Quest not completed for Medivh yet. He's still waiting for it too. And here comes the Dragon Queen. Sky going straight in with Alexstrasza as Wubby. There's the slide and the immediate leyline seal. Mosh pit attempt. They're going for market. They're trying to get the kill as the quest is completed on the side of Medivh, and they get it. Junkrat down, but so is Khaldor, and the fight is still continuing. The second stack acquired for Malthel as he's sitting on 10-second cooldown reduction. Again, the mosh pit attempt, and this time they're gonna get their kills. Down they go. Ana eliminated. The Frozen Punisher is already taken as they're starting to move through the bot lane towards the top. The camp has taken down the fort. Value for the Vikings, but the bot lane push is starting to become stronger and stronger. And once again with another portal, we're seeing the attack against Mirrodin in particular. Quacknix pushed back, but the jump is still true. The fort will fall though. They move in and they're going to get the kills right now. 7 kills against 4, 18 already on the board. And this is an opportunity for Go Next to put another nail into the coffin of the Vikings. It's still an advantageous game for the blue team, at least when we're talking structures. They took out every single fort in the game already in the mid lane. Wubby moving in with 2 catapults as Junkrat has focused his attention topside, trying to take the camps down. Bottom of the map, more aggression, but the team is starting to retreat from it already, not focusing onto the keep, instead trying to move into camp range to close out more experience for themselves and get a little bit closer towards level 20. Kelvin rotates between the lanes, so does Wubby, but this game is blown wide open at this point right now. Still, Kelvin sitting in the middle, bottom of the map. Wubby, he's all over the place. Top lane, mid lane, bot lane. And Medivh cheating as usual, granting vision for the entire team as they're moving in. Another camp in the middle of the map is already pressuring the fort here slightly. And we're talking about damage though. Another quick look at this. 150,000 siege damage for Gul'dan. 36,000 damage by Hanzo. 31,000 by Junkrat. And the game is still intense as hell. The difference in experience is honestly not really all that crazy. It's really a minion experience. I mean, everywhere there's an experience lead for the team in red, with the exception of the passive experience. And that comes thanks to all the forts that have been taken down. It's the structural advantage on the map that keeps the Vikings in play here. they are still a little bit behind. And Medivh grants vision. Medivh is the one to really just inform about the position of the opponent. But if you just look over to the position on the map itself with level 20 talents, if they can force a fight, there's an opportunity to blow this game completely out of proportions and gain some momentum here. And they're looking for exactly that. The duck is already jumping out. Level 20 is there on Ruby Wings, is taken immediately. And Medivh cheats. Yeah, you don't say. No shit, Sherlock. Plus extra oomph. We're going a little bit more oomph on Junkrat. He's oomphing a lot already. I'm talking about one hero that doesn't oomph, by the way. That's Gul'dan. Gul'dan with 33 stacks on the Echo Corruption. That's not a whole lot. Usually you want to have that completed by the time that you hit level 16 for the Ruinous Affliction, and we are not there yet. Also, you look over to, well, Muradin. Quacknick's over here, and he's still working on the Stormbolt quest. He needs that one too. It's really the cooldown reduction and the pierce that is so helpful in all of these fights. The double stun cannot be overvalued, and this is something that he really needs, and that's another 4 hits that we need from him. Also, another quest that isn't completed yet is what we're seeing from Hanzo's side. 4 out of 5. Level 20 is missing. Right now, the attack towards the top, obviously, Go Next wants to claim another camp. They're stealing their opponent's camp away before they make the move towards the right side to take their own. The problem that they have is that, yes, they have level 20, but you can already tell on the minimap that everybody is really close. I mean, we have 2 heroes right over there. Maka is here. There's an arrow that could be shot. There's also a Horrify. And with the Haka at the bottom of the map, Wubby is trying to move in to take the experience. And if they get 20, he could move with his global very, very quickly over towards the top and make sure that they're taking this fight. It's a little bit of the gamble. Do the Vikings really risk and try and take that fight? Or do they simply sit there and say, you know what, fuck that camp, we don't give a shit. Let them have the mercenary camp, what do we care? We can defend it easily, and then we are just going to take the fight on the shrine itself. But it seems like they're actually trying to get into position. Stormbolts are already being shot out, there's a couple of attacks coming through, camp is nearly taken, and since they don't have 20 in time, they let it slide for now. But for how much longer? Haunt is in, Rewind. Contagion, also there, Bullseye. Wubby at the bot lane, already moving away, a bit afraid that someone is going to move towards him and try and gank him out. Can't die at this point. Up towards the top. Maka is dealing with the camp as it was taken, and both teams are waiting for the next objective to spawn. And fountains are down for both. There's still a fort, which is important, but there's no pre-tapping for any of these two teams. And the entire time, just portals being used here or being put down. There's nobody to use it, but that's something that the Vikings didn't know. So he's just playing around vision. He's playing with their fear. 4 kills against 7. In team fights, Go Next has done better. It's the objectives that really gave the Vikings the lead. And I gotta stress it again. This is the 3rd map. It is the 3rd map and the final map in this series. Who moves on to the next round in the winner bracket? Who goes up against the fan club in round 2, in the semi-final of this winner bracket? Already the objective announced. 1 second, and this is going to be the big one, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly where the party starts. They're all starting to move straight onto the point, and there is the Dragon Queen immediately being popped by Sky, but the main move against Malthael, he gets protected here. And on Ruby Wings, as Alexstrasza moves straight in here. The Dragon trying to turn the tides of the battle. Sky is already back to business here and trying to control the point for his team. They're slightly ahead on the minion stacks. G has attacked in the backline, but Ruby's already looking for the next Dragon. Is missing it here. The Horrify against Medivh. That might be the kill that he just barely shields himself. Moves out, but it's not enough. Ultralisk goes down. And with him eliminated, Skok goes down. And the Death Metal connects with 3, but they don't have the damage ready to capitalize on it. Instead, the team has to move away. 2 heroes have fallen. We never even saw the ley line being dropped. And 2 heroes down means that the Viking have a free access onto the next objective. Max Passion is sitting on the left side, trying to gain some value for his team by moving towards the top and helping to destroy the fort. But obviously the sights of the Vikings have already set on bigger things. Alexstrasza goes down, and now with the keep absolutely opened up, they want to go for keep, they want to go for victory right here. Keep is about to fall just before the Punisher even makes his approach, and it seems like it is absolutely impossible to win here. Nice attack and a perfect setup with Stormbolt into the Sleeping Dart against Junkrat. The Rat is down, Malthael is also dead. The aspect of death justifying his name here just a little bit differently of what people probably expected. And here's the attack as the Vikings are sealing the deal on the best-of-3 series with a 2-1 victory over Go Next on Infernal Shrines. GG and well played as the blue team takes the W.